Hello, coin enthusiasts, collectors, and history buffs alike. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating and often overlooked coin in the world of numismatics, the 1979 1-cent coin. It's small, it's seemingly common, but there's so much more to this little piece of history than meets the eye. So, grab your magnifying glass, because we're going deep into the 1979 penny, its history, its value, and the story behind its creation. Let's get started. The 1-cent coin, or penny, has been a staple in American currency since the early days of the United States. First minted in 1793, these little coins have undergone many changes in design and composition over the centuries. But today, we're focusing on the 1979 1-cent coin, a specific year with its own unique place in American numismatic history. Section 1. History of the 1-cent coin. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1-cent coin was initially introduced in 1793, designed by none other than the famous engraver Robert Scott. Early pennies featured Lady Liberty on the obverse, and they were made of copper. But throughout the years, the design evolved significantly. Fast forward to 1909, when one of the most famous and iconic designs debuted, the Lincoln cent, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design is what most of us are familiar with today, the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat stalks on the reverse. From 1909 to 1958, the reverse of the penny featured the iconic wheat ears, which is why it's often called the wheat cent. But in 1959, the design changed again to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, with the new reverse showing the Lincoln Memorial. This design remained until 2008, when it was replaced by a shield design that we see today. Section 2. The 1979 1-cent coin's design show a close-up of a 1979 penny with a comparison to other years' coins. The 1979 1-cent coin falls in the middle of the Lincoln Memorial series, a design that was first introduced in 1959. But the penny you'll find from 1979 isn't just any typical cent. Its design still features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But there are some interesting details about the coin that make it special. Let's take a closer look at the obverse first. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, remains one of the most recognizable images in U.S. coinage history. On the 1979 penny, you'll see the inscription Liberty at the top, "In God We Trust" along the left side, and the date 1979 at the bottom. The mint mark, which is an indication of where the coin was minted, can be found just to the right of Lincoln's shoulder, either a D for Denver or a S for San Francisco. Zoom in on the reverse side of the 1979 penny. On the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. The memorial is beautifully depicted, with the words E Pluribus Unum above and United States of America at the top, along with 1 cent at the bottom. The reverse also includes a subtle yet important detail. The date is inscribed at the bottom, marking the year of minting. This design remained unchanged until 2008. Section 3. Composition of the 1979 1-cent coin. Now, let's talk about the composition of the 1979 1-cent coin. The composition of pennies has changed over time, but in 1979, the U.S. Mint was using a copper-plated zinc alloy. This means that the core of the penny is actually made from zinc, while it's coated with a thin layer of pure copper. The penny weighs about 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. Section 4. Mintage of the 1979 1-cent coin. In 1979, over 7 billion 1-cent coins were produced by the U.S. Mint. This is a huge number, especially when you compare it to other years. These pennies were minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The vast majority of these coins were produced in Denver and Philadelphia, with only a small fraction minted at the San Francisco Mint, often in improved quality. Interestingly, 1979 was the first year the U.S. Mint began producing pennies with a new style of mintmark placement. Prior to 1979, the mintmark was located just below the date. Starting in 1979, the mintmark was moved to the right of Lincoln's shoulder, which became the standard design for years to come. Section 5. The 1979 penny in today's market. So, what is the 1979 1-cent coin worth today? You might think it's just another penny, but the truth is, depending on its condition, it could be worth much more than its face value. First, let's talk about the most common versions of the 1979 penny, which are the ones that are in circulation and show wear from being in your pocket. A typical 1979 penny in average circulated condition is worth only 1 cent, just as you'd expect. However, there are some exceptions. Uncirculated coins, especially those with a D mintmark from Denver, can fetch a higher value. A 1979 D penny in uncirculated condition can be worth around 10 to 20 cents, depending on its quality and demand in the market. On the other hand, proof coins, those minted in San Francisco, can be worth anywhere from $1 to $3, with higher-end examples reaching even more for the right buyer. Show examples of higher quality 1979 coins in mint condition. Now, let's talk about some rare and interesting variations. Some of you may have heard of the 1979 double-die penny, which features a noticeable error in the minting process. In these coins, the image of Abraham Lincoln and the date appear doubled, which gives the coin a unique, error-filled look. This error was only produced in small numbers and makes these pennies much more valuable. A 1979 double-die penny can fetch anywhere from $10 to $50 in average condition, and in mint state, they could be worth even more, sometimes upwards of $100 or more, depending on the degree of the error and its condition. Section 6. How to identify the 1979 double-die penny. How can you spot one of these rare 1979 double-die pennies? The most noticeable feature is the doubling of Lincoln's image on the obverse. The eyes, mouth, and even the letters "in Liberty" and "in God We Trust" might appear slightly offset or doubled. On the reverse side, the lettering and details of the Lincoln Memorial might also show signs of doubling. If you come across one of these coins, be sure to get it examined by a professional numismatist or a reputable coin dealer, as the value can vary significantly depending on the extent of the doubling and the coin's overall condition. Section 7. Conclusion. The 1979 1-cent coin might seem like just another penny, but as we've learned today, there's a lot more to this small piece of currency than meets the eye. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, these pennies, especially the rare double-die varieties, offer a fascinating glimpse into the world of coin collecting and American history. So, if you have any 1979 pennies in your collection or happen to find one in your pocket change, take a closer look. You never know what kind of treasure you might be holding. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the world of coins. See you next time.